Come on, that's awesome start to a video. So this is Jake from Full Access UTV, and today we're going to talk about our KRX 1000, the release of it, why I'm doing the KRX 1000, and what Full Access UTV is all about. So again, my name's Jake Hollenbeck. I'm from Reno, Nevada. I've been doing desert racing, rock crawling, and Ultra 4 and multiple other dirt sports my whole life. I own championships in Ultra 4, We Rock, Super Crawl, Vora, short course. I've been doing it. I've been doing this my whole life. My family's been doing this their whole life, and this is what we live, breathe. We breathe dirt every day. So a lot of friends say, why? Why are you getting into the UTV scene? Why are you doing that? Why are you not continuing with the buggies and other stuff? And at the end of the day, it's like, I'm a little bored with it. I've been doing it for years. I'm 46 years old, and I have a story I'll tell you about Sand Hollow, but at the end of the day, this thing enlightened something in me and gave me a spark. And I've been so impressed with what I saw and then owning them that I literally, made a decision with a family to start a whole new business just based on this because I'm impressed and I'm a believer. So that's that. So yeah, buddies, that's what I'm doing. So Kawasaki, why? Went to Sand Hollow, Utah this year, and we did UTV takeover. We brought our shop rig, Polaris General, Portals, 35s, geared, tranny upgrades, dry shafts, diffs, you name it. I had more money into it than I want to admit, but we went out, ran the trails, and had a great time. We showed the car's capability, my capability as a driver, and we were actually invited on a VIP run with some old school rock crawlers that were locals there, and they had some really cool hidden trails and no-name trails they didn't want the public to go on and so forth. That morning when we met up, everybody in that group had a Kawasaki KRX, except one other guy, and I was like, what? I was pretty surprised, and I knew their capabilities. My buddy Vic had one. He was actually with us there, and I don't know, just you don't really see the capabilities until someone starts to push it, and that day those guys pushed it. Shorter wheelbases were making climbs easier than I was. Everything about the clutching, the leaving, how they were driving away, it was all amazing to me. I was like, dude, I couldn't believe it. And as you talk to them through the day, have a couple beers, these guys are all under factory warranty. Everything's covered, and what really got me was their investment. It's a Kawasaki. They don't have to upgrade the ball joints. They don't have to upgrade the CV shafts, do gearing or anything else. No money out of your pocket. These guys had 35-inch tires. Most all had skid plates underneath, and a few had some rock sliders. And that blew my mind. It blew my mind. And to watch them doing it and having the fun that they were having all day, it was awesome. So another level of this was, I've been in a rock crawling, I've been to Sand Hollow, I've been there with rock buggies, and I've had a great time there. But I've never been able to travel. I've never been able to go out, and I always thought, hey, it'd be fun to bring a UTV there and do some stuff. But I didn't think we'd be doing the level of crawling we were doing there. It's awesome to cut out 60 miles. Just go 60 miles in one direction at 60 miles an hour, and I saw things in Sand Hollow I'd never seen before, and it just opened up my eyes. And I hope to share that positive energy and my enthusiasm with everybody else and my customers. So that's that. That's the KRX. That's why. That's why we started Full Access UTV. We have now 3 of these. This is our first one that we got. This is a 2020 KRX 1000. We have one that is the King of the Hammers build that we'll be doing over here. That's a KRX, and it's awesome. And then we have another one that's a product development rig, specifically for making items. But most of the items that we've made for the store have been made from this car and the other car. So once you look around this car today, keep in mind, I'm gonna try to nail 200 points today about this car and things. I might miss them, I might ramble, but on this car is all the stuff we make. And there's a bunch of things that we make that aren't even on this car, so just keep that in mind. When you look around, this is our release car. This is what we're bringing. We're releasing our business in UTV Takeover in Coos Bay, Oregon. And this is basically our release. This is a full custom wrap. We did a Hexus Wasabi matte green, and we also tied in the Kawasaki colors to it. It's really cool because the green's really close to factory, but it has in the light, it has a weird gold kick to it, which I'm sure you're seeing. And old school, new school. I'm old school. I remember the Kawasaki ZX7s, ZXRs and things like that. They were awesome. Love the color scheme. I wanted to tie the old school, new school together, so that's what we did, and it worked out really well. You know, and that glimmer and everything, it just makes it pop. If you actually look at our logo on the side of the car, we did a clear gloss. Nothing too gaudy. It doesn't stand out, you know, hugely, but when it's outside in the light, it really pops. And like people said, it just makes you want to look at it, and that's perfect. That's what we need, but it's not standing out. Another thing you'll notice is we did the cage. We got a custom cage that Carlos helped us do. It's got double B pillars. It's full radius caged, 1 3/4, and it's 4.5 inches lower than stock. We did a custom bead rolled roof, full aluminum, custom windshield. We even did some cool custom vents in the front, get some airflow in, which makes a big difference in the dust. But you can close it off if it gets cold, which is nice. We got our 8-pillar lights, custom grill that we make. It's on the website. We got a stubby front bumper we made with a floating fair lead. Has our pod lights, and behind that is a KFI winch mount holding the Bulldog 6,000-pound winch with 6 synthetic rope. Definitely recommend Bulldog winch. If you look on our site, it's the only company I'm selling because seen a lot of winches break, a lot of Harbor Freight stuff and other things, and if you need to get out and you need to get your friends out, get a good winch, buy a Bulldog. Wyatt's showing you some other stuff down below. I'll take you back to the air vents in the back. So when we did the cage, we brought down the profile quite a bit. So we did a full vent delete on the left and right side. Just clean up the look of the car. I wasn't a huge fan of the vents. I think a bunch of people aren't, some don't mind them or whatever, but they say these things are slow. They say they're a boat, so I made a joke and I gave headers. But in actuality, those headers are functional. That's your air intake on one side and your belt intake on the other. And it tied it together really cool. Did an aluminum plate and bead rolled it and stuff, and then stuck that, that's an EcoX gear sound bar in the middle that we sell. Did the number plates to tie it all in, and I guess I'll talk about that sound bar for a second. If you haven't heard one, hear one. They're awesome. EcoX Gear is a newer company. They're a small family-owned company out of San Diego area, and I have friends who have a Wet Sounds 10, which is over double the price. I've had MTX, Rockford Fosgate. This thing blows everything out of the water. Blows that Wet Sounds 10s out of the water, and it's half the price. Full Bluetooth water. I mean, you guys got to hear it. The bass, the tone, it's awesome. Glad I got it in there, but so. What else? Custom vents or wing windows. Some people think it's odd. This has been a huge, awesome addition to our car. That we can shove air in through the car or just set it out. And when you're driving, you can just put your hand out and you can actually feel the wind just miss the cab. So it's not creating that suction to suck all that dust in. And that's been a cool thing that, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that something you'd want to see us make so you can bolt it to your KRX? I can tell you it makes a huge difference, but if you are, let us know in the comments. We'll try to accommodate it and get something done there. But what else? Talked about front bumper, rear. Let's talk about the rock sliders. Customer after customer comes in the store, don't even notice them. Those are real rock sliders. These are made to work. With my background of rock crawling, you got to have good rock sliders. But not only that, you got to use it like a tool. You got to know you're going to use it. They're not there just to save the plastics. They're there to be used as a tool to get you through something that's hairy and gnarly. So we did these with the Delrins on the bottom, and we have a full SolidWorks version coming out in the next 2 months that we can sell to customers. And I think it's just clean, simple, and most people don't even recognize them, which is awesome. Brings you back, you can see our muffler covers that we sell. It's a good way to clean up that ugly muffler. It is muffer. So it cleans up that ugly muffler. They're good mufflers. A lot of tuners out there saying that they're losing power going aftermarket mufflers and stuff. So we've kept it, and I like it quieter, so I can talk to my passenger and so on and so forth, and get from there. You'll see big thing underneath is we got the rear bumper, fully custom rear bumper we did, with a storage box in the back. For starters, what we tried to do back here was we tried to put the cooler up in the front and we had a bigger toolbox that we were putting back here that didn't sit very high. So it sealed it as a tailgate. And we were making a full one-piece plate. It actually went in, everything just bolted in, and we were going to try to sell it as a kit, so you take the cooler and the toolbox with us too. But in the end, because people's different needs of certain things, we decided just not to do it. And this is a 22-quart cooler. So if you guys think, again, this is something we should make because it's awesome. We think it'll be less than just the Kawasaki tailgate box. If you guys think that's something we should do, hey, again, talk about it in the comments. Let us know. You know, that's something we can definitely pursue. We already have all the SolidWorks and CAD files for it, and we can make that happen. But you'll also notice in the bumper, we cut out the bed. We cut out the plastics so we can move that cooler down, and we tied it out. Now this is a one-off bumper we're not going to sell, but it gives it a cool pre-runner look, and also makes it, I mean, if I stand up here, my wife can get drinks out of here, which is in the back of a KRX with 35s. She was not happy about it. You know, she was asking for a step, and I'm like, oh man, I'm not doing a step. So it's awesome. It actually tied everything in really good. It's totally solid. And then you see we got our hitch in the back. We did a full custom hitch because we also make a Rock Lizard off-road trailers. They're trailers that are built and designed to keep up behind a KRX, even doing 60, so we had to have a good hitch. What else? Well, I guess let's talk about underneath. Underneath, Super ATV came on board as a sponsor. These guys have awesome products, you know. I would definitely say that with other people a few years ago, man, they had a bad rap. They weren't making great stuff, but they have really stepped it up to make everything better. So on this car, we have their rear built aluminum radius rods. We have Reno 2.0 shafts front and rear. We have their full half-inch Delrin skid plate underneath. We have the high clearance front A-arms in the front, which are super nice, by the way, versus the other stuff I've seen years ago. And we also have their billet tie rod kit, just to name a few. So don't hesitate to buy this stuff for your KRX. It is awesome. Springs, shock therapy. We did some shock therapy setups. I've ran both brands. For me, West Coast driving, shock therapy was where it's at. I've been doing shock tuning and shock ride heights and shock setups for years. And this car, any KRX, comes from the factory, and it is entirely too soft in the front and too stiff in the back. The too stiff in the back is because it was made for payload. You're supposed to have some weight back there. So we fixed all that with the right spring kit, and now all of our tuning now is in the clickers, and I actually don't even feel like we needed to give it into valving with what we're doing, so it worked out really good. How about sponsors outside of the car? You'll see in my shirt today, I was wearing Rugged Radios. They're a big sponsor of us. We make a custom dash plate on the inside that holds the Rugged Radio, and then even our dash kit that holds the tablet here, it holds a tablet or a cell phone. You can still access stuff, but it also has a mount for you just clip on handheld Rugged radios too. So Rugged's an awesome brand, everybody knows about it. A lot of people wear their headsets and things. Personally, I like to hear the car, and I don't wear that, but they're a phenomenal company, phenomenal customer supports, call them. Alba Racing, engine's tuned, and it's tuned by Nate at Alba. He tunes my short course car, and it's a winner. I mean, the guy does a good job. It hasn't blown up. And he's big into the KRXs. He's been talking about them more and more and more, and seeing the beef and the speed that people are doing, and especially with the tuning. They're becoming faster. So I'll say that, I said it earlier, if you have a KRX and you're not impressed with the speed, get a tune. We got the DynoJet tuners available on the website, and we can get you a tune straight from Nate. So we just need your computer. But the other cool thing about the DynoJet is you can make your own tune. You can download one of like 8 tunes that is on there today, and Nate is going to be doing tunes with them, and then you'll have an Alba tune on there too. You can also download, and I think it might be a little additional fee, but the point is you can switch tunes, you can check codes, you can do all these cool things. Do that. That's what we did, and it wakes this thing up. It made a huge difference. So the other thing we did in performance-wise was, you saw we left the muffler, but we went with JBS on the clutching and the weights. There is a lot of rumor mill and a lot of nasty, nasty internet stuff going around about just its friends and clicks and weird stuff. But at the end of the day, I picked up the phone, being 46 years old, and I talked to this guy, James. I don't know how old James is. But when you talk to me, you hear my experience, my knowledge coming out of my voice, and I may even speak terms to you. You have no idea what I'm talking about. That's what he was doing to me. It was awesome. I knew the guy knew his stuff, and I was like, okay, we want to do some weird stuff that no one's done. Hey man, that guy stood up. He has been literally doing it with us. For the King of Hammers build, he's totally helping us doing some weird, crazy stuff on clutching. So we're over 100 miles an hour and it's working, and he's doing something he knows nothing about, and he's in. You guys want some clutching? You want your KRX to rip? See him. We're running his testing. He's testing on clutch weights right now. We're running a test set, and we've been really happy with him. We're also running his custom cut sheaves. He cuts the sheaves on the clutching to give you an extra 15% reduction. So if you put 35s on, it feels a little bit better than stock still. And you know, it's not really killing any other power or anything, and it's a phenomenal thing. So Bulldog winch I mentioned, phenomenal guys, hooked us up with these winches, and I would not run anything else in no way, shape, or form. So I think that covers the outside, covers sponsors. Let's talk about the inside. We got a bunch of products we made. We got, starting with, you see our passenger cup holder. We got knee bags. We got that cool knuckles shift knob. And we got the little gate shifter plate there that removes that detent between low and reverse. So if you got to back up quick and save it off that wall, no issues. We got floor drains. We got even Wyatt show you the custom dash we did to tie the color in from the outside of the vehicle to the in. Kind of little bling factor. Got our logo on it and stuff. Big thing we did, full access steering wheels. Whether you're my short buddy Vic or tall like me, that steering wheel is too far forward. And everybody says they feel like they're on top of the pedals. And by simply moving back, it makes a huge difference in the ride, in the comfort, and just makes you feel better. So you'll notice this steering wheel kit actually pushes everything back towards the seat more. By doing that, you can actually take your seat and move it back a little further, get underneath the B pillar of the cage, and by doing that, you're actually sitting a little safer too. And it's not made out of hard plastic. That's a leather. These are the same racing wheels that I've been running in my race cars, and they're phenomenal. So I would highly recommend that. Cab seals. Let's talk some negatives, you know. So cab seal kits. These things, okay, the truth, right? My first ride in this, I hated it. It was the worst ride I'd ever been on. You know, and I've done 24-hour desert races, and I've been, I think, 9 hours King of the Hammers. I was not as dirty as the 111 miles in this car that day. It's a miss. So a lot of people say, oh, the cab seal kit isn't worth it. Kawasaki makes one, you can get them on our site. They're always back ordered for a reason, but hey, not worth it. It's 1,000% improvement. It doesn't fix everything, but it's 1,000% improvement. We just went up to Twister Canyon, Rock Crawling Canyon up here. We had 10 miles of dirt there and back before you get there. This car ran that rock canyon 4 different times, and we bring our other KRX, which is on 34-inch O-bar tires. By the time we got them back, it was amazing when we had to go clean them both, that the other one that didn't do anything was 1,000 times dirtier inside than this one. So get yourself a cab seal kit, you won't go wrong. And speaking of cab seal kit, it misses some stuff. So, matter of fact, put it in the comments. Do you guys want me to do another video? I'll do a video showing all the other little extra things we did besides a cab seal kit, just to help eliminate the dust. And it's simple things. I mean, you could probably spend 20 to 30 bucks on just household items and things like that, and boom, it's fixed up, and what a difference. I mean, we had light dusting in here, which wasn't bad at all. And the other one was like, it was cover the electronics and bring out the pressure washer. So it was pretty bad, but yeah, that's one of those things. I would definitely recommend doing that. But yeah, let's talk about some hidden stuff. That is a problem on the Kawasaki's. That's one of the big things I noticed is we were looking for a King of the Hammers car, and we needed a Kawasaki, so we were kind of looking for some totaled ones. And I couldn't help but keep noticing that in all the salvage yards, that they all had the shocks sticking up the front, or the A-arms were ripped off. So it's something I really just kept an eye on, and we ended up designing our upper shock mount brace. This one's in gloss, and it's all scratched up now, so we changed the color, but it completely beefs up all the mounts around this area. It makes it double thick as far as left to right, and up and down, the radius is twice as big. Plus the thickness, it has a back plate. It also has a big fat washer back there. And a lot of people are like, why do you run the washer? We have 3 of these. We have these on every single one, and every one of these KRXs was different. Though back there where you can't see is a bunch of welding splatter and boogers from the factory, and every one of them was different. We couldn't just bolt the plate on because of it. So this fixed it. So that's a big thing that needed. I would just recommend everybody do this. It's cheap insurance, and we should talk about that. It's a newer car. If you hit it, if you do any frame damage from here to the back, it's a totaled vehicle, and an insurance company will total it. You can't ride it anymore because you can't get insurance. You can't get insurance, you can't get registration, all these crazy things. So do yourself, get a little bit of insurance. The other insurance get, lower A-arm supports. It's really hard to see in there, but our front A-arm supports tie the passenger side to the driver's side, top and bottom. And that keeps it from trying to rip the mounts off the frame, which is the thing that was happening. So it definitely helps. And I mean, both those things aren't done from people out bashing and beating the crap out of these things. You know, some people are just trying to make things and so on and so forth, and it rips apart. So that's why we did that. And going back to the shock mount too, I should mention, everybody thought that the shocks were laying through the hood because the whole mount ripped off upward. No, that's the leftovers you've seen. In reality, they're ripping the entire whole assembly downward. So when the suspension droops out, it yanks on this too thin a bracket and it just rips out the shock. So if you imagine rock crawling, and it's happening in rock crawling, they're just flexing around and stuff, and then all of a sudden they flex down, come back up, and there's no suspension. Or if you went to hit a jump, you fly up in the air, when you land, there is no suspension. Barrel roll total, that's why I was seeing those things, but make sure you get that. Another big one we've been noticing a lot, and especially with like we got a bunch of guys in town at Class 1 Motorsports who are also racing these things in the desert. Skid plates are not holding up in the back. People are all over the forums and they're talking about these skid plates are breaking, and they're made out of cheap Chinese tin. So, hey Wyatt, you want to come show the skid? So they are, it's a beer can underneath, and it doesn't matter if it's Polaris transmission, so people are breaking the transmission case. And awesomely, Kawasaki's warranting it, but it's still a bad thing. You don't want it to happen to you. Don't trust that beer can sheet metal. We got a full bolt-on skid that just goes on there. It's 1/8 inch thick. You're never gonna have a problem with that thing. So that's another upgrade you can do. We also got sway bar disconnects on it. If you haven't ran sway bar disconnects, try it. You're not gonna do good at higher speeds. When you do a turn of 30 miles per hour, it's gonna lean. But it's night and day. When you go through a rhythm section, you do little things, you're not feeling the jarring and the bones and all those hits. That it's just smooth. And so you get a lot more travel, and not only rocks, but even coming through trenches and stuff, it's just better. But hey, watch your speeds, you know, learn how to drive it before you know, have a few beers and flip it, you know, things like that. But I don't know, I think I covered my points, right? So we got a grand opening special coming up. It is this week, and it starts on Monday, the 21st, and it ends on the 28th. Listed on our website at the bottom, there is KRX News. It's also listed in the full access store right at the top, which is KRX News. Click in there. It'll show you all our links to our YouTube pages, Instagrams, things like that. If you guys go in there and like it for us, everything listed below it is on sale at up to 50% off. So it's going to be a huge sale. I hope you guys take part of it, and we're glad to be here, man. So far we've been astonished by how busy we have been without even releasing the company or doing any advertising or anything. So we've been storing and just building so many products. So, you know, just taking our steroids, getting ready for this. So hope it all works out. Other than that, if you're at UTV Takeover, come by and see us. We have tons of products with us. We don't have a booth set up, but if you see us, come talk to us. Talk KRX with us, talk any UTV with us. Test your knowledge, whatever you want to do, come have fun with us. And if you need anything, man, we'll have it there. So we can either give you a deal there, or you can just go online and order it and ship it to your house. Doesn't matter. But I think that about covers it, guys. So truly, I appreciate it. And I look forward to helping you guys. Again, my phone number is listed on the website. You need to talk to somebody, has some weird question, anything weird's going on, hey, call me. Let me try to help you out. We got a lot of Kawasaki support, Kawasaki friends, so we might be able to get you an answer. But that's it. Appreciate it, and have a good day, man. Thanks for watching.